Welcome back,
Do you
Roxanne.
recall whether you already talked about this?
Judge, I've been here 3 times. I don't. I'm trying to keep up myself.
Okay, well, yeah. Why don't you just, if you need to hit that briefly, to
Just
go
very
ahead and
quickly.
do that.
You know why Detective Gaither
Why-
is laughing?
The view. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to view a video and
I just gotta make sure.
fight that or whatever it is that the witnesses
It's a family
testifying
show.
about occurred at a place that is a strip club. And so while that is not why the video is being shown, you're going to see some images that are things one might see at a strip club. So be prepared.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as
I can't believe they're laughing about this.
543Y. Is that a copy of that video that you pulled as a part
Sean,
of
if you don't get out of here.
Yes.
You're in this time to say with like a tender and admit.
Sean
and
said do some
publish
pausing.
543Y.
All right. I'm sorry, 543Y. That's admitted. You may.
Amy, I had to make sure. Will you chill? Good Lord. Yeah, I don't know why they're laughing about. Anyway. She said, oh, Lord. Listen, if this channel disappears tomorrow, if this channel disappears after this video, y'all, because of some of the things in it, just search for ClassE. I'm gonna make another YouTube channel. It'll be called ClassE. We'll just start over. It was a good run, though. It was a good run. Sean over here said, do some positive. If you don't. B really said, it's not about it being bad, B really. It's about what's being shown. This is filmed from a strip club. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
You got to be careful on YouTube. Oh my. Okay, this is just one of the crowds, so we should be good here. I need to have my be right back screen ready.
43Y.
All right.
Yankee 1 for the record.
I don't know if that's their name.
Now publishing 543 Yankee 2.
We had to make sure Mercedes was out of view. Thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, we can't. Hey, Amber, don't come in here starting. Stop it.
Shall be the same.
Good morning.
A different angle. This is going to fight. It's going to begin, and then this is where it's going to spill over into.
God. This might be it, y'all. I might have to retire early. Oh, man. So this one should be fine. Hold on, I gotta have my finger on the trigger. Switch screens just in case. We should be good on this one though. So the fight goes down in this area here. Or this area here. Yeah, there we go. Sheesh.
Are they still fighting?
They are still fighting.
Okay.
Dang, you got chairs being thrown. All that. Yeah, they've been conditioned, so they know when to get out of there. You got money all over the place. Dang.
1 minute and 28 seconds.
Where's Amber at? I'm about
Now,
to get
when
her.
you spoke with Mr. Kendrick about this
See?
incident, was he read his? You said he was arrested, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
that
Was
was
he
Yak.
read
Yak
his
was in there, and-
Miranda warnings?
Yes.
When you met with
Daily say.
Mr. Kendrick, who all was in the room with you when you met with Mr. Kendrick?
Detective Thorpe, Sergeant Gaither, and myself.
All right. And when you went to go speak with him, did he agree to speak with you all?
Yes.
Okay. Did he appear to have any learning disability?
No.
Did he appear to be intoxicated or otherwise incapacitated?
No.
Did he appear to be sick?
No.
Where did you all
Yeah, you got messed up.
interview Mr. Kendrick?
Atlanta Police Headquarters.
Court's indulgence.
Yes.
Yeah. If this line of questioning is going to continue, can we have that same limiting instruction that you gave yesterday?
Yes, and in fact,
You'd be surprised, Phenomenal
let's
RN.
go ahead and take our morning break. Misunderstanding, but let me just let the jury know that every defendant, every accused, everybody who ever is a suspect in a crime has a right to remain silent, doesn't have to talk to the police, and if they choose to remain silent, it is wildly inappropriate to comment on that. However, this was just a misunderstanding, so we're not going to worry about that. All right, go ahead.
When you spoke with
And let me correct myself, Mark. Count 1 in the YSL indictment is the conspiracy to violate the Racketeering, Influence, and Corruption Act, or the RICO Act. Let me double check and make sure. So that's count 1.
When you spoke with Mr. Kendrick, did you speak with him about a fight that occurred at Club Crucial?
Yes.
And specifically, did you speak with him about a fight that happened at Club Crucial after Kenneth Copeland was beat up at Club Crucial?
Yes.
And was that fight somewhere around January 6th of 2015?
Yes.
And specifically, did he talk about his involvement in fighting an individual by the name of Bloody J?
Yes.
What did he tell you about his involvement in fighting Bloody J?
That when they got outside, he was the one that punched Bloody J.
And again, this is all after Kenneth Copeland was beat up inside of the club.
Correct.
During the course of your speaking with Mr. Kendrick, did he talk to you about any conflict or tension he had with an individual by the name of Rich Homie Quan?
Yes.
What
Rest
did he
in
tell you
peace.
about the tension or conflict that he had with Rich Homie Quan?
He spoke about he had went to a club. I don't remember the exact date. And when he walked in, he saw Rich Homie Quan, and Rich Homie Quan, cousin or something. No one said nothing to him when he walked in. And then once he got to a certain area, he spoke of how Rich Homie Quan began pointing at him. And his cousin or something had pulled him to the side and basically said, don't do that, Yak, don't do that. And he basically explained that he was just there, but he could see how everyone was kind of positioning themselves. And initially he wanted to leave, but he didn't want to look like he was basically scared or something, so he stayed. But it was basically tension in there.
Was this before or after January 10th, 2015?
This was after.
The incident that he was telling you about was after.
Yes.
When you spoke with Mr. Kendrick, did he acknowledge a beef between YSL and If Gang?
Yes.
Did he ever speak with you about his desire or wanting to be a member of the Bloods?
Yes.
What happened to Doug? I missed it too.
And
I was looking at the chat.
Something spoke and don't remember.
The tension or
Doug
conflict he had with Rich Homie Quan.
He spoke about he had went to a club.
And specifically, did you speak with him about a fight that happened at Club Crucial after Kenneth Copeland was beat up at Club Crucial?
Yes.
And was that fight somewhere around January 6th of 2015?
Yes.
And specifically, did he talk about his involvement in fighting an individual by the name of Bloody J?
Yes.
What did he tell you about his involvement in fighting Bloody J?
That when they got outside, he was the one that punched Bloody J.
And again, this is all after Kenneth Copeland was beat up inside of the club.
Correct.
During the course of your speaking with Mr. Kendrick, did he talk to you about any conflict or tension he had with an individual by the name of Rich Homie Quan?
Yes.
What did he tell you about the tension or conflict that he had with Rich Homie Quan?
He spoke about he had went to a club. I don't remember the exact date. And when he walked in, he saw Rich Homie Quan and Rich Homie Quan, cousin or something. No one said nothing to him when he walked in. And then once he got to a certain area, he spoke of how Rich Homie Quan began pointing at him. And his cousin or something had pulled him to the side and basically said, don't do that, Yak, don't do that. And he basically explained that he was just there, but he could see how everyone was kind of positioning themselves. And initially he wanted to leave, but he didn't want to look like he was basically scared or something, so he stayed. But it was basically tension in there.
Was this before or after
object to
January
that.
10th, 2015?
This was after.
The incident that he was telling you about was after?
Yes.
When you spoke with Mr. Kendrick, did he acknowledge a beef between YSL and If Gang?
Yes.
Did he ever speak with you about his desire or wanting to be a member of the Bloods?
Yes.
In speaking with Mr. Kendrick, did he ever appear to be confused about his understanding what a gang was?
No.
During the course of the interview, did he talk about gang banging or being a part of a gang?
Yes.
During your interview, did he ever claim to no longer be a part of a gang?
He basically spoke about moving on past that as the music was starting to take off, and he basically indicated that he felt like he was nobody. He didn't respect the gang culture of having like
Yak?
leaders or different stuff like that, and he basically said he deemed himself a blood, so he started being a blood.
He just
Did
started
he
being
talk
a
with
blood.
you about this incident following the fight that we just viewed a few moments ago?
Yes.
What was he able to tell you about what happened following that fight at Club Crucial? At Magic City.
He basically told us how he was filming a video that day, and it kind of fell through. And he got high, had some lean, and was kind of having a bad day. And then his friend Duke called him, basically telling them that they just jumped me. And he was like, pull up on me. And so they met up somewhere.
Well, hold on. You said pull up on me. What does that mean?
Meet me somewhere. And basically they met somewhere, and he felt like it wasn't his beef, but he's almost coming to the aid of his friend. And so they came up with the idea of going to retaliate.
And when they were stopped, where were they stopped? Where did they see the police at initially?
Trestle Tree. Trestle Tree Apartments.
And what's the significance of Trestle Tree Apartments? Trestle
Tree is a strong, like a main hangout for Kelvin Watts and IF gang members.
Okay. And I'm going to show you what's been admitted as 27 DDDP.
Yeah, we don't even know what they're asking. At this point, I hope they fix this feed because this is tough.
Okay.
Ahead.
Okay.
There we go.
But there was a large police presence, and so they attempted to leave Trestle Tree. And according to Mr. Kendricks, he didn't know his way around over there, and so they had to make a U-turn. When they made the U-turn, that alerted police, and that's how the chase initiated or started.
And did he talk to you about the guns that were found in the vehicle?
Yes.
And did he advise to you which gun was his?
Yes.
And do you remember today which gun he said that was his?
Initially, he spoke about he had just purchased the stick, which would be the long gun.
Okay.
And then he was the driver, and so the handgun, I believe, was found in the driver's area.
Kevin Garnett. Don't disrespect KG like that.
Interview, did you speak with him about the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Yes.
And I'm asking you specifically, did he ever tell you whether or not he could remember where he was on the night that Donovan Thomas was murdered?
I believe he did.
Do you remember where he said he was?
I don't. I think he said he was at his girlfriend's house.
And do you know the name of that girlfriend?
Busha. Busha.
Okay.
What's your objection,
now,
Chris?
as you did your investigation over that span of investigating the incidents between January of 2015, at some point 2015, did your investigation conclude?
It never really concluded. Our unit was tasked with stopping crime. Our unit was on the floor with our chief. Anytime there was a significant incident, they reached out to our unit to assist. Homicide usually dealt with if there was a murder, but gangs usually dealt with what led up to the murder, and what was coming afterwards. So we were tasked with different assignments or different incidents.
Okay. And towards the end of 2015, did you deem this gang war between YFN and YSL Operation Planters?
I didn't deem it, but that was it, became named.
And at some point during the end of 2015, what was kind of the result of Operation Planters, or what kind of happened?
Relevant. Object, Your Honor, relevant.
I'm waiting for a response.
Can I?
Yeah,
No, not from
not from you. Your Honor, we believe that is going to be relevant as to how they moved on and kind of ended this portion of the investigation.
Sustained.
All right.
Nice try.
Let me ask you this. When initially, was Kenneth Copeland the target? Did it appear as if Kenneth Copeland was the target of YFN in the early months of January 2015?
Yes.
At any point, did it appear that
Everybody
that
hated
target
Woody.
shifted to anyone else?
Yeah, it
And
shifted to
speculation.
anyone who was involved with
Sustained.
Woody. I mean, I don't know why she's going back over this, because that's why Shannon was saying that was the whole reason that they got shot at, was because it was assumed that he was close to or friends with Woody. So I don't know why we're going back through this.
Now, I want to transition and transfer into,
Thank you, Amy.
music. As a gang investigator, has music ever become part of your investigations?
Yes.
Tell the jury, how does music become a part of your investigation?
In gang culture and in rap music, a lot of times
This is BS. This
some
is
of
the
the
stuff I hate.
artists either highlight, taunt, or humiliate their opposition through music. And I think it's part entertainment, but from the position of an investigator,
I'm going to object from the position of investigator.
Well, I can,
It's the freaking First Amendment. I hate this thing. Like, the fact that you can't make a song, like, you have freedom of speech.
This is not
This is
relevant
BS.
from the position of
Not
investigator to go
relevant at
to what the jury is hearing about the allegations.
Sustain. Get him out of there.
speak as your expertise as a gang expert.
He's not.
you want me to repeat what I just...
No.
Your Honor, I'm also going to object. This is outside of his expertise as a
Thank
gang
you.
expert. Now we're talking about musicology
Get
and
him out of
lyrics, and that is outside his expertise.
Overruled.
I think you can continue.
As rephrased by you.
Okay. As a gang expert.
How is she gonna how is she gonna overrule that? So let's think about it. I mean, I guess the only thing I could think of is if they're allowed to use social media posts and they say these on social media posts, you can ask them about lyrics. I just think it's BS. So you can freely post on social media. Doesn't mean that they won't use it in an investigation against you. It's the same thing with music. I don't like it though.
Tell the jury how music can sometimes be involved in gang culture and rap,
I don't
and
like
how
it.
those two can coincide.
And gang culture and rap music is sometimes used to taunt, humiliate, and highlight some of their actions or to humiliate their opposition. A lot of times it's almost as if no one knows about it, then it didn't happen. So it's an opportunity to showcase what we did or to highlight what we did.
Objection on commenting on someone's intent, Your Honor. 704.
Sustained.
So don't come. What have you found? Let me ask you this. You talked about sometimes music can highlight, taunt, and humiliate. How have you seen examples of that as you've investigated, as a gang investigator? How have you seen that type of highlighting, taunting, and
this, man.
humiliation in music?
You said, how have I seen it?
Yes.
For example, the song Get It Back in Blood. Get It Back in Blood is basically
Brian Steele's got to object
celebrating
here.
retaliation. Illustrating to anybody that I'm going to get it
Objection.
back in blood. You do something to me, I'm going to retaliate to get it back in blood. And it basically spells it out in the song.
And as a law enforcement officer or a gang investigator specifically, when you're doing your investigation, do you look for music and then start your investigation, or are you investigating crime?
Action asked and answered previously.
Well, I don't know the answer to that because I wasn't here when he testified previously.
704 is just a rule against somebody giving their opinion, basically. I'll give y'all the exact explanation here.
I don't recall specifically. That's all I'll say. I can't recall if he specifically talked about it. I don't recall.
704 objection is raised when an attorney believes that an expert is improperly giving an opinion about something only the jury should decide, particularly regarding a defendant's mental state or intent, i.e., back the song he's referring to, he's assuming that that's what the song was for. It could be about somebody went to a Chinese food restaurant, and their rice wasn't cooked all the way, so they were gonna go and get a refund. This is some BS.
Oh.
Welcome back,
Do you
Roxanne.
recall whether you already talked about this?
Judge, I've been here 3 times. I don't. I'm trying to keep up myself.
Okay, well, yeah. Why don't you just, if you need to hit that briefly, to
Just
go
very
ahead and
quickly.
do that.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. Do you, when you're investigating, do you look
It's
for
not.
music and say, let me investigate this person, or does the music somehow come a part of the investigation?
Relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled.
We don't chase music. We chase crime. And through our investigation, all things are on the table.
Please.
My job, when I worked,
To what his job is, Your Honor, this is not appropriate.
Okay. In a song, when you may listen to a song that might have evidence of whether it's a crime or what you call highlighting, taunting, or humiliation, is the entire song often the subject of the humiliation, taunting, and highlighting, or might there be certain portions?
Your Honor, to the characterization of the question, evidence, perhaps information.
Sustained.
Who's that speaking?
When you're hearing a song, does the entire song always humiliate, taunt, and highlight, or could it be portions of the song that humiliate, taunt, and highlight?
just a portion.
This is a dumb question.
It might be a subliminal message, a small snippet.
704, Your Honor. It's the same thing, the intent.
Overruled.
And talk to the jury a little bit about subliminal messaging and how that can, what that looks like in a song.
Beyond expertise. We never had a Dalbert hearing on this.
I agree.
Not
You're
on
right,
this.
It's
I have the
beyond his
Dalbert order.
expertise.
All right, we didn't have to take either a break or approach.
Or ask the question a different way. Oh, they're all going up there now. Dang, Hilton's gonna be all by herself.
Everybody knew, right, that the state was at least going to offer Investigator Dennis to testify about the lyrics, right?
I did. But what I was not aware of.
This just seems like the kind of thing that if y'all wanted the court to be having looked at this, you could have given me a heads up on.
I was unaware that there would be testimony
Yeah,
as
the
to,
line of
oh, this
questionings.
is decoded messages. That was never
Well, all
discussed.
right, no, but I ruled on that, and I sustained the objection on that, and Ms.
Right.
Hilton understands that. So on the broader topic of, is he even qualified to testify about lyrics as a part of gang investigations, which I understand y'all now
I
asserting
agree,
that was
Roxanne.
never covered.
I'm not asserting that. What I understood was Detective Dennis, over objection, would testify, in this song, this is said. This lyric is said. That's what I believe the lyric is. That's the lyric in this song.
Right.
That's it. Now we're getting into, oh, we're sending messages.
No, we're not going to.
I understand. That's what I was objecting
She's not,
to.
right. And so is there any other objection to him being able to testify about using lyrics in his investigations, in his opinion, which is only his opinion?
Nah, Judge Whitaker, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That's not what he's saying. You're asking a gang expert what he's seen and what he thinks about how the lyrics were used. You can't ask him that.
As to what significance that has to his investigations.
Yes.
Well, I'm not waiving my objections because I've objected to it,
Nah,
but
that's
that's what I believed was going to be testified to. But just that
Understood, but I'm
limited
asking,
amount.
it seemed at the bench that some people were maybe saying, we don't believe that he was ever qualified as an expert to be able to testify to any extent about lyrics. If I'm just misunderstanding, then please correct me, but we don't need to find the hearing transcript and sort it out if y'all aren't maintaining that.
I don't think that you're incorrect. I think you're correct. That's what we said at the
Okay.
bench. And just, don't want to seem like we're being cagey about it, but it was in December of 2022.
Okay,
when we
well,
had the Daubert hearings.
it may be
just-
that the easier thing to do is to just bring him in and do this little part of it now. I don't mind doing that if y'all,
I don't want to speak for everyone else. If there is a rough of the
Very misleading. I
of the
agree.
finding
I
in the
don't know.
Daubert, perhaps that might be.
oh,
helpful.
I've looked at the finding. That doesn't,
Well, not
that-
the order.
It's the ruling.
Okay.
It appears to be just the ruling, not the actual hearing itself. I can email that to everybody.
I'm not sure.
That might be helpful.
Well, y'all can certainly look at it, but
Just Whitaker trying to go to lunch.
that won't take very long. And then if anybody wants, we can just have him come testify outside the jury's presence and I'll make a determination as to whether he has the necessary expertise to be able to testify in the way that was about to be asked.
And Your Honor, to be clear, it's not about the lyrics, it's about gang promotion in the music. So it's not specifically about, I think maybe Mr. Weinstein said musicology. We're not talking about.
I know that, which is why I overruled that objection.
Now proceed.
Yes, please do.
Chris, how is he a
So
criminal? I
understanding
just asked you a
the
simple
court's
question.
ruling in regards to Detective Dennis not being able to testify about subliminal messages or anything like that, and just going really to the basic issue of what he was qualified for. I'm just going to take my direction from the transcript that was thankfully sent to us by Ms. Persefield, as well as the court's actual order. Let me say first that the Daubert hearings were held initially back in December of 22, but I think Detective Dennis, if I'm remembering correctly, was one of those who we weren't able to do then, so he may have been in 2023.
Okay.
That notwithstanding, I don't have any recollection of the detective being questioned or talking about his ability to interpret lyrics as part of his expertise. And so if we're relying on what the court ordered or what the court ruled, I look at page 6 of the court, and I know you have it in front of you.
I do.
The court's order, which was drafted by the state.
It's adopted by the court, though, so that's
Right.
really neither here nor there. Go ahead.
Right. And so I just know that there is nothing in there where he is qualified to testify about anything in regards to any lyrics, in regards to interpretation of rap lyrics, nothing in regards to his training or his qualification thereof. So we maintain our position that he is not qualified to testify
Okay,
about
well,
what the state intends to qualify.
I thought that what y'all were looking back at was the live stream of the Daubert hearing.
We couldn't find it.
Okay, well,
So basically what he's saying
Right, and
is,
so what we have ultimately is that there is no evidence, none.
Chris, okay, I'm going to ask you very clearly. The question I ask is, you said, I mean, we got the receipts. And then I'm going to leave it alone. 'Cause I'm just asking you because maybe I'm missing something. You said he is a criminal. And I'm asking you, how is he a criminal? You said no, he's not guilty of the RICO charges, but he's a criminal. It seems like a simple question. Anyway.
the order on page 5 says that Detective Dennis also quote, has extensive experience in evaluating their social media and communication practices, unquote. So if nobody can answer for me one way or another what it covered, and you maintain that you don't think it covered this, or you don't know what it covered, I'm happy to just have him come in here and let's hear his expertise on that and go on with it.
We're fine, because
right.
we do not accept that when the court says communication patterns that they're talking specifically about rap lyrics. That's our position.
I don't know. Let's get him in here. If nobody can remember. And we don't have a transcript. Yeah, I need the detective, please. And Ms. Hilton, did either of y'all
Chris
handle
won't answer
the
the question.
Daubert
All right.
on this witness?
I got you, Chris.
No, Your Honor, and what he was qualified in is a gang expert, and I am positive he talked about how gang members
Were you
use
there?
music.
Were you there
I was
for it?
present.
Okay.
And
And
how,
is this from your memory?
this is from my memory, how music can play a role in gang promotion,
Clearly.
how music can play a role in gang,
It's a simple question.
in the promotion of the gang. And that is what we're talking about. We're not talking about lyrics and musicology, but how does music play a role in the game?
Do you recall the Daubert hearing
November.
involving you
Yes.
in this case?
Yes.
Do you remember whether you testified to your expertise and experience in terms of looking at lyrics and songs and
Yes.
using those in your
Yes.
gang investigations?
Yes.
Okay. Given that, anybody want to voir dire him on that topic, not his expertise, but whether he in fact testified about that already in the Daubert hearing?
Can I say
Yeah.
something else? We talked about lyrics the last time I was here with the halftime song, me and Mr. Adams.
Oh, nah.
Also,
Halftime's going to be
the
stuck in
last
my
time
head
I
now.
testified, the second time.
Is it going to be anything beyond that? That same type of testimony?
No, that's it, Your Honor. I mean, it is how do gangs use music, period.
What's your question going to be?
Doesn't make any sense.
Whether or not he is qualified to do any interpretation of music, rap lyrics as relates to his expertise in gangs. Not whether or not he's familiar with communication patterns of gangs, but specifically whether he can look at a particular rap lyric and make any interpretation about what that means to gangs, specifically in regards to this case.
Is that something that was already covered in the Daubert hearing?
Yes.
All right, we're not going to recover it. I mean, I don't have any reason to not believe this witness.
Understood.
Okay. Let's get the jury.
And
Well, honestly, we should just let the jury go out to lunch at this point. How long are we going to be with this witness?
Your Honor, probably about another hour and a half.
And just to be clear, if y'all want to know what Thug's charges are, and apparently we're not innocent until proven guilty in this country. RICO conspiracy, obviously that doesn't need to be explained. Participation in criminal street gang activity, allegedly. Drug and firearm possession, allegedly. He's accused of possessing illegal drugs and firearms which are connected to his alleged involvement with YSL's crime. Alleged. Accused of. Alleged. Murder-related charges. He's indirectly linked to violent crimes. So again, I would ask the very simple question. How is he a criminal? If you're just going to say he's not innocent until proven guilty, then that's fine. Say that and, we'll keep it moving. We'll just agree to disagree. But you can't say this man is a criminal and that hasn't been proven.
With that.
Whatever.
All right. Do we know whether lunches are here yet? They're not. All right.
All right, ask for continued objection in regards to that, please.
Okay. Let's get the jury back in.
think as someone who's a proud criminal, you would understand wanting to be innocent until proven guilty, but
Laura.
Oh, by the way, something else y'all find interesting. Young Thug, aka Jeffrey Williams, has not been convicted of a major crime before the current YSL trial. Well, he's not been convicted, but while he faced multiple legal issues in the past, including arrest and charges related to drug possession, firearm possession, and reckless driving, these cases either resulted in dropped charges or have not led to significant convictions. For example, in 2015, Young Thug was arrested on a drug and weapons charge after a raid on his home. However, these charges were eventually dismissed. Similarly, he has faced accusations of making terroristic threats and other minor legal troubles, but none have led to a criminal conviction. Respectfully, Chris, you got to take this L, brother. Just let it go. And that's the last thing I'll say on it. I don't think there's anything left to say after that one. Opinions are fine, but stating things that are not true, you gotta get the smoke. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, we don't do lies here. Opinions are fine. Come on.